I'm just checking the shallots that we grew from seed. These are the zabroon, and they're drying out nicely now. The other reason to look into it, can you see this one has actually...
Oh dear, is something actually eaten that, or has it rotted?
I think it's rotted from the inside.
Oh dear.
So we want to get rid of that. It can go on to the composter, because what you don't want this to do is to spread to any of the others. The others are fine, they're nice and firm. And most of the green foliage has actually disappeared.
Yeah, they're going to be ready to go into storage with the others, aren't they?
They are, yes, they are. And these, you can see the other side there, they're actually the sets that we'll be using for this year. And we're probably only about 4 weeks away from planting those out, Mrs. W, aren't we?
Not long now.
No. Now, in today's video, I shall be planting out some brassicas into the garden, and Mrs. W gets all creative with courgettes in the No Dig Norfolk Gardener's kitchen. Now, for those of you that have never grown courgettes, they're a great plant to grow. You sow the seed sometime in April, and they can go outside into your garden anytime after you're not expecting any more frosts, which is usually sort of towards the end of May. And then really from mid to late June onwards, you're harvesting these courgettes day after day after day after day. Mrs. W has one or two recipes that these can be used in, but we're always on the lookout for more. So I'd better get back down to the kitchen, because I know Mrs. W is waiting for these.
Hello and welcome to the No Dig Norfolk Gardener's kitchen. Courgette Harvest is fantastic as usual. Thank you, Mr. Wilson. There's quite a few there. And courgettes are one of those vegetables that we always have a glut of at this time of year, and you do sort of run out of things to do with them, different recipes, and this recipe was kindly sent to us by Anita, one of our subscribers, so thank you, Anita. We're going to give it a whirl. And so to start off with, I have preheated my oven to 180 degrees centigrade, which is 160 fan or gas mark 4. And these are the ingredients we need for the cake itself. So it's approximately 200 grams of grated courgette, 150 millilitres of vegetable oil, 200 grams of caster sugar, 3 medium eggs. I'm using some of our Bantam's eggs, so I've adjusted the amount accordingly. 250 grams of self-raising flour, half a teaspoon of bicarbonate of soda, and 2 lemons, the juice of 1 and the zest of 2. That's for the cake, and then there'll be a little extra at the end for the drizzle, but we'll come to that later. So first of all, I'm going to crack on with the grating of the courgettes. I'm just going to give them a quick wash and dry, and then we'll start grating them. I've chosen to go for the slightly smaller courgettes simply because I want more of the yellow skin to give it more of the lemony look. And we're aiming to get 200 grams of grated courgette. And I'm using a fairly fine grate for this. So next I'm just very finely grating the zest from 2 lemons, and then I shall juice one of them. So that's the grated zest in the bowl there ready, and I'm simply just juicing one of the lemons. So I think we're all ready to make a start. So the first thing I have done is I have greased and lined a 900 gram loaf tin. So that's all prepared and ready. Then into my large bowl I'm going to mix together 150 millilitres of vegetable oil, 200 grams of caster sugar, and the 3 medium eggs. Just with a wooden spoon, beat them all together. It's nice vibrant yellow, isn't it? Looks lemony already without the lemon.
It does.
So next we stir in the grated courgette, lemon juice, lemon zest. Don't want to leave any of that. Stir that in. So now with the 250 grams of self-raising flour, I'm just going to add my ½ teaspoon of bicarbonate of soda. And you just gently sieve it in. And fold it in. So you don't get any lumps. It looks a bit like a thick batter.
Courgette Yorkshire pudding. I wonder if you could do that, Mrs. W.
Well, I'm sure you could. Looks lovely already. So now we just need to decant the mixture into the loaf tin. Don't want to leave any in the bottom. There we are, and we pop that straight into the oven, preheated oven, for 50 to 60 minutes. Okay, so we've given the cake 50 minutes, and I'm now having a check of it. I've looked through the oven door and it's looking very good, so let's have a look at that. That's looking very golden, which is what it said. It's had 50 minutes so far. So just to check, what we need to do is to, into the centre of the cake, just put a skewer in. And that's come out nice and clean, as you can see. So that is ready. What you don't do with this cake is take it out of the tin at this moment in time. While it is hot, we now start to prick all over the top with the skewer, making lots of little holes. So next we need to make the drizzle. So we start off with 75 grams of granulated sugar, the juice of 1 lemon, and I've grated the zest of 1 lemon, but we only add at this moment in time half of it. Just get us in. And the rest is left just to decorate on the top in the end. So we just need to mix the sugar, juice together, get a really good mix. I think that's got everything. And while the cake is still hot and still in the tin, we don't take it from the tin at this stage, we pour over the drizzle. And hopefully it'll run down in all those little holes that I've just pricked over. Get that last little bit out. So then we just leave it now to totally cool. That probably will take an hour maybe. So Mr. Wilson, you have to wait still, be patient before you can try it. So I'm just going to cover it over now with my little parasol thing and leave it to cool.
beans.
Oh, wow.
Got some for Abby and Lewis and the girls.
Lovely. They'll be pleased.
Oh, they're going to
They
love.
will be pleased.
You've had some of that cake, haven't you? Without me.
Well, that's the cook's perks.
Cook's perks.
I can tell you now, it is absolutely delicious.
See what I have to put up with, folks. I'm out there in all weathers doing all this work.
It is so moist, look. Beautiful. You just try how lemony that is.
Shall. Just smell from that is just... Ooh.
Really lemony.
Oh.
Are you lost for words? It is so moist, lemony, and you'd never know there was courgette in it, would you? You really wouldn't. That's right what Anita said. It's such a good way of using the courgette to moisten the cake as well. It's really good.
It's so lovely and moist, isn't it?
Yeah. And I think you could do the same thing with green courgettes with limes. I think that would be a really nice little twist on it, or some lemon and lime or lemon and orange. You could put different spins on it, but I do think with the green courgettes you could
I think you're right. Actually, yeah, a lime one would be,
yeah, I think.
Now, Anita, thank you very much for sending us over this recipe. It shall remain in Mrs. W's
Bible.
yes, her Bible.
My Bible
In
book.
fact, you've already written it up, haven't you?
I have. It is already added to my list of recipes.
That really is amazing. It really is. And actually, if any of you guys out there have a recipe that you swear by, do send it over to us. If you go on to our homepage on the channel on YouTube, you'll find our email address. You can email the ingredients over, or just put it in the comments below and let us know what it is you cook and what the ingredients are and the method. We'll be happy to try anything, because we're always trying to build up a portfolio of really lovely recipes.
Yeah, things to do, things to make with produce from the garden is what we're aiming to do, isn't it? So.
People often, I get a lot of comments actually asking us if we're actually vegetarian. We're not vegetarian. We like vegetarian food. In fact, we like all kinds of food, don't we, Mrs. W?
Yeah, we do.
And whatever we're eating, vegetables are always at the centre of it and at the heart of it. And you don't get these half-hearted vegetables from the supermarket on your plate that are limp or have been sprayed with who knows what. What I do know is that the vegetables that myself and Mrs. W grow, when they end up in whatever recipe we put them in, or whichever dish we're actually serving them with, we know 100% they have had nothing bad put on them. The only thing we do is spread compost on our soil once a year to grow those vegetables. Now, Mrs. W, I actually fancy a barbecue tonight.
That sounds a plan to me.
Oh, it's been so hot here in Norfolk, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Plus 30 degrees today.
If we can wait till it's a little cooler this evening, I think that'd be
yes.
quite nice.
Oh, yes. And one thing that it will do, it will feature Mrs. W's sweet corn relish.
Yeah.
And as you know, our sweet corn is sort of ready now. And we have actually filmed this, so look out for this in a future video. There's a little tease for them, Mrs. W, because this is absolutely amazing, and it uses all of our amazing vegetables that we've gotten from out of our No Dig garden. In fact, in the montage I'll put up, Mrs. W, they may even see us using that.
They may well do.
Not forgetting, actually, the loaded butter. I do like the loaded butter on a nice steak. That is absolutely amazing. Ooh. That's another teaser though, isn't it? So, if you haven't subscribed to our channel and you like what we do, please do consider subscribing to our channel. We like to grow our own veg, and we also add the odd recipe in on the channel as well, and and hopefully you can get a few good ideas to do with all the abundance of the vegetables that you grow on your plots. Now, I do hope you have a great gardening week, and we shall see you next time.